The third generation of Redmi Watch is clearly the best one so far. What is more important is that it could be the best budget smartwatch of the year undercover. So, is it? Let's inspect. I've never imagined that Redmi are going to come up with a wearable that I like so much that I'm happily using it as a daily driver, and Redmi Watch 3 is covering way more than just the basics. Therefore, in this episode, I'd like to cover everything which is relevant to the true-to-life experience, starting from the very basics, like the unboxing, through the initial setup, down to the very little details about using it in the long run. And by the way, nice to meet you. I'm Michael. On the channel, I really enjoy a lot inspecting cool tech together with you, so let's dive into it. Perhaps most of you are aware of this fact, but I will just in case remind you that Redmi is a brand of Xiaomi, and this year it feels like it's their rebirth, because compared to 2022's portfolio, they do deliver some serious upgrades. Redmi Watch 3 is launched in Europe for only €119, which is close to Amazfit GTS 4 Mini, costs less than last year's GTS Generation 3, and is meant to be twice cheaper than the likes of the US-designed Fitbit Versa series or Apple Watch SE. So, in terms of value, it has a flying start, but we need to find out whether it delivers truly good experience. Unboxing felt great. I got the black edition, there's the ivory edition as well, and you're going to find some interesting colors for the straps to make things a bit more fun. Some of the key specs are listed on the box. What caught my attention is the ability to make phone calls, something that, if I remember correctly, appears for the first time with the series. Once you take the watch out, you have to remove the protective wrap. It's a little too much, but you know how it is. The safer, the better. In terms of feeling on the hand and materials, it is a step up from last year's model. The strap is quite similar, but I underline that the button-based straps are not my favorite thing. Unlike the Mi Band series, accidental unbuttoning here is rather not going to happen, but if you have to often put it on and off, it's going to annoy you. One way to solve this is to look around for some aftermarket alternatives with a buckle. Other than that, we can see a usual for a smartwatch design, nice and bright screen, and most health tracking sensors which are positioned at the bottom side so that they are in contact with your wrist. There is only one button on the side, and it is used for commanding alongside with the swiping and tapping actions that you may perform via the touchscreen. The frame is plastic with metal textured finish, quite realistic though. If you wonder about the specifications, there's a new generation of the system on a chip being used. Exact model unfortunately remains undisclosed. The battery inside is just 289 mAh, but good enough for more than a week usage per charge. The display is AMOLED, 1.75 inches with 600 nits peak brightness, and that's a lot. Bluetooth 5.2 LE. In terms of health tracking, there is HR and SpO2 sensor, accelerometer, gyroscope, GPS is present as well. You have Alexa as a smart assistant. The watch is waterproof and weighs only 37 grams. In short, this is a very capable fitness tracker with some extras and inbuilt GPS. I can't really call it a smartwatch because it wouldn't be fair given the Apple Watch SE series or the Galaxy Watch series, because they can run third-party apps, and here you can't install such. But there are some features which are very similar to way more expensive wearables. For instance, I think the display is very bright and vivid and fantastic. It's AMOLED-based, 600 nits peak brightness. There is a catch though, because Redmi decided not to integrate ambient light sensor, meaning that you don't have auto brightness feature. You can still control that using manual slide bar. The other thing which is a major differentiator between this watch and the 2023 wearable trends is the absence of a rotating crown over here, so only way to wake up the watch is by using this side button, and that's the app launcher as well, and all the rest you do through swiping gestures or tapping gestures on the display. Battery life has been fantastic. I managed to squeeze around 5 days per charge with always on display and everything in terms of tracking. I really like the fact there is a speaker and a microphone because you can make Bluetooth relayed phone calls. There is no NFC though, meaning that you can't make any contactless payments. And I think the Chinese edition has such an option, but looks like Redmi decided not to apply this globally. Now, I think before diving into the health tracking options, it would be a good idea to see about the gestures and the menu navigation. The power button acts as a home button and app launcher, and with a long press you can launch Alexa. Swipe down and you're going to expand the notifications applet. Very well organized. Just as it is with Xiaomi Watch S1 Pro, you cannot respond to the notifications, at least not yet. Many fitness trackers or feature watches these days have an option to send predefined answers, so I hope to see this integrated sooner rather than later. If you swipe up, you're gonna see the quick toggles. Swiping left or right is about access to the various cards. They're really well grouped, and per card you may set up to 4 different functions, and basically these are shortcuts to some of the apps. It is colorful, it is stylish, and the interface is very responsive. I believe right now it is one of the most pleasing watches to use in terms of menu navigation and scrolling, and you wouldn't notice any difference between the performance here and the performance of the twice more expensive Apple Watch SE Generation 2. As for apps, there really are a lot of tracked workouts, close to 120 different ones, and those performed outdoors can be tracked with the GPS. And also, there are 10 inbuilt running courses, which means that Redmi Watch 3 can actually take a bite of Huawei Watch GT3 SE Edition or the Huawei Fit 2. If you wonder whether you can swim with it, the answer is yes, and you can track your workout on top of that. Heart rate can be tracked 24/7, but all-day tracking for blood oxygen saturation is not present at this point, which is a little weird but possibly done in order to prolong the battery endurance. You're also going to find apps for sleep tracking, stress tracking, and breathing exercises. Redmi have integrated an option to show your smartphone's calendar events, but looks like the global version of the app is not quite ready for that yet, at least not at the time I work on this review. You have an option for setting alarms, and unlike other models, here, besides vibration modes, you can also select audible ringtone. From the remaining productivity-related tools, you're gonna find the needed essentials. What you wouldn't find, though, is a barometer app. Such hardware is simply not present inside the Redmi Watch 3. From most of the tracked data, I feel that the heart rate tracking is good, blood oxygen saturation measurements too. Sleep tracking is very accurate, detecting when you're awake or in deep sleep or in rapid eye movement phase. Stress is usually one of these components which are not so easy to comment about. The steps counter is excellent though. In order to talk about the workout tracking accuracy and the GPS data, let's switch to the Mi Fitness smartphone app supported for both Android and iOS. It is the same app used for the Mi Band series or the Xiaomi Watch S1 series. Unfortunately, you won't hear from me superlatives about positioning accuracy. It may be between 5 up to 10 meters wrong, and locking signal is usually taking longer than expected, even in sunny days. If the watch operates standalone, it may take up to a minute for signal to get locked, and then you're still going to notice some inconsistencies. Performance is similar to what I got from Xiaomi Smart Band 7 Pro, but it got significantly improved after some firmware updates, so I hope for the best here as well. Don't forget that wearables like Redmi Watch 3 are optimized towards good battery life, so it is normal to prioritize greater endurance over the GPS accuracy. Besides the details about each of your workouts, you're going to find many details about health tracking components which are collected over time by the watch. And there are so many good conclusions that you can make based on that. One more big advantage over competition like Fitbit is the fact that there are a lot of good watch faces, all of them come for free. There are no extra perks inside the app which require purchasing a license, so it is all free of charge without any monthly fees. I'm saying all that because even Huawei now started to charge for some of their software components, like the majority of their watch faces, for instance. If you practice a lot of sports and you look to get the Redmi Watch 3 because of its running courses or workout tracking, I know it is important to mention that there is a well-working integration with Strava. Drawbacks? Yes, such are of course present. There is no auto brightness feature. You wouldn't find any additional apps to install, as it is for some of the Amazfit wearables. There is no internal storage access for hosting files, no barometer, no NFC for contactless payments, no option to send predefined answers for notifications. There are not that many customization features inside the settings menu. But $120 for this pretty well-equipped feature watch. That's the Redmi Watch 3. And I think it's one of the best value smartwatches up until now in 2023 because of the stunning AMOLED display, because of the excellent responsiveness of the interface, because of Alexa as a smart assistant, the decent battery life, and the fact that the smartphone app doesn't trap you into going for some additional subscriptions, which seems to be a big bonus these days. And interesting to hear about your opinion. Do you think that this can actually compete with Apple Watch SE Generation 2, or it belongs to the category of Amazfit GTS 4 Lite or probably the GTS 3 and similar devices? Do you think it has any chances against Huawei Fit 2 and other fitness tracking and GPS-based devices? We can talk about all of that in the comment section below the video. As usual, more information about the product, way to order it with a discount, and some ways to support our work here on the channel you're gonna find in the video description area somewhere down below. As usual, it's been such a pleasure to prepare all of that for you. My name is Michael, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Therefore, don't forget to check if you're subscribed. Enjoy the day. See you soon.